Ladies and gentlemen, with this particular story, the actual incident happened a few years ago, and I normally don't speak much about stories that didn't occur this year, but with this particular story, we actually got a little bit of justice, okay? With this story, it's very difficult, and I know it's going to be difficult for the family members to hear my commentary and to hear what exactly the ruling was on this situation, because what you have is a biological father, and I'm not sure if he had full custody, if he had partial custody or visitation. I'm not sure, but a father and his girlfriend, hashtag dad's girlfriend. The little girl that you just saw on my screen with that bright, beautiful smile right there, this little girl suffered in a manner that caused her death, and there still are a lot of questions in the air as of right now. I'm not sure if we'll ever get clarity, but what I do know is that we have a method in our society where we try to use the courts, use the investigators, the police, the forensics, whatever we can to try to piece together what we believe is a true story, because nobody really comes out and just gives the 100% honest truth. Okay? Oh, yes. So, yes, not girlfriend, but wife. So my apologies. Dad's wife. But the stepmother. So she actually was the legal stepmother. And I'm going to tell y'all, this woman was sentenced for the death of that baby, but this case is still not over. So a jury in Mississippi found this stepmother, guilty of capital murder. Now, how many of you guys are familiar with capital murder? Y'all know that in some states, capital murder can get you the death penalty. Very serious thing. Life in prison or the death penalty. Those are two very, very strong indictments against a person and their life, okay? But they found her guilty of capital murder in the death of her 14-month-old stepdaughter. Now, after a 5-day trial in Claiborne County, jurors returned a guilty verdict Friday against, let me see if I can get her face back up here. This woman, her name is Takia Beverly, which is spelled T''Kia, like T and then Kia, like the car. Beverly, not Beverly, but Bevily. So Takia Beverly on October 27th, for the death of the October 2017 death of the little girl by the name of Jurayah Smith. 14-month-old Jurayah Smith. And I know those images might be very difficult for some of y'all to see, but I want you guys to remember this. What do we stand for? Why are we talking about this story? The t-shirt that I have on, and some people have bought these shirts. This says the AFC. We are going to advocate for children first. There are people out there advocating for the stepmother. Maybe they have a just reason for doing that. I don't know. Okay? Investigators said that the toddler, the little girl, 14 months old, received multiple blunt force injuries to her head and was killed while in the custody of Takia and Morris Beverly. I'm going to say that again. That baby suffered multiple blunt force injuries to her head and was killed while in the custody of the father and the stepmother. I know it's hard to see, but like I say, it's more hard to know what this baby actually had to live through. There was somebody who did this to this baby. The jury in the court believes that it had to do with those two people that y'all just saw on my screen. So here's the thing. A lot of people can say, well, this baby might have been in the hands of other people, might have been around other folks. Maybe these people didn't do it. They could put out a lot of speculation out there. But then again, you'd also have to say, how does this much injury occur to a baby and these two can't point the finger at someone definitively? Everybody understand where I'm coming from? they were not able to point the finger at someone else definitively to the point where the courts and the jury said, y'all did it. Based on the evidence, we believe that you are guilty. You stood trial, and we don't believe that you didn't have any part to do with this. Everybody catch that? Because that hashtag right there, hashtag I stand with Kia, Kia is the stepmother who they're trying to defend. The family and people around are trying to defend to try to get her off of this sentence. Capital murder is premeditation. Yes, murder is premeditated. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have somebody in the chat who asked a very reasonable question. And somebody asked, could it have been shaken baby syndrome? Right? And Lee said, we'll do another live and I'll explain abusive head trauma or shaken baby syndrome. Because that's exactly, and thank you, Lee, and that's why I'm glad to have an expert here. Because I know that there is a difference between, they can prove where there are impact injuries, which is what blunt force trauma is, and then shaken syndrome. Two completely different things. The way that they show up when they do an autopsy is going to show the difference. Okay? Just so you guys know. What they convicted them on was they convicted them on hits, trauma, blunt force trauma, hits to that 14-year-old beautiful little girl right there. Now, we'll talk about this GoFundMe here in just a moment, but let me go ahead and continue to tell the story. Now, a date has not been set. Well, actually, they did go ahead and sentence her, so we'll skip that part. But Morris Beverly, who is the biological father, the child's father, faces trial beginning Monday, according to news outlets. Uh-oh. Sorry, I skipped a page. They said, I could not be prouder of my prosecution team, which brought Jurayah, let me see, is it Jurayah? They brought Jurayah's murderer to justice, according to District Attorney Daniela M. Shorter said. Now Jurayah's family can finally have some peace, knowing that Takia Beverly will be in custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. The child's mother, her name is the biological mother's name. Let me see if I can get her face up here. I think I have her. And I don't mean to be disparaging to the mom. Okay? So let me apologize in advance. Shout out to the biological mother. This is the biological mother. And her name is a little bit difficult for me to pronounce. Dedreuna? It's spelled Dedreuna. Jurayah Smith. These unique names make it hard for us to pronounce. And I'm sorry, but dang. But the biological mother said in a statement released after the verdict, she thanked the prosecutors for pursuing justice on her daughter's behalf. And again, Mom, I'm sorry. I just can't pronounce that name. But let's keep going. Knowing that the person responsible for the homicide of my precious Jurayah is being held responsible for their actions brings a feeling of relief over my whole family. Receiving this guilty verdict is only the start of the healing process for my family, our friends, loved ones, and myself. We're grateful for the outcome, and we're hopeful for the peaceful closure that this process has brought. I think I had a little bit more about that I wanted to say. Let me see if I have. Yes, I do. Because I want to talk about the woman that was arrested. I want to talk about her family. So if y'all don't mind, let me talk about that for a moment.
We've been following since the beginning. A 14-month-old found dead in Port Gibson. Now, almost 2 years later, the child's father and stepmother are being blamed. WJTV 12's Katie Rose spoke with the little girl's mother.
And right after these videos are done, I'm going to actually tell you guys what I actually believe happened, like why it happened. Because we know what happened. The baby was beat. But do y'all know why it happened? Because I'm going to tell y'all, they're definitely not going to be honest about that.
The father and stepmother of the 14-month-old little girl who was killed back in 2017 are now being charged with capital murder in connection to her death. 27-year-old Morris Beverly and his wife, 26-year-old Takia Beverly, turned themselves into police Monday morning. Autopsy results show 14-month-old Jurayah was killed from multiple blunt force trauma to the head. The little girl was found dead on October 22nd of 2017 in a crib at her father's house. Although it's been nearly 2 years since her daughter's death, Jurayah's mom has never given up the fight, and she says she will be at each hearing as the investigation continues.
I want to be there because I want them to see me. I want them to look me in my face and understand my pain and see why I kept fighting all this time, because it wasn't right.
The Claiborne County Sheriff tells me a hearing will be held sometime between now and next week. For now, in Port Gibson, Katie Rowe, WJTV 12.
Now to a story that we've been following since the beginning. A 14-month-old is found dead in Port Gibson. Now, almost 2 years later, the child's father and stepmother are being blamed. WJTV 12's Katie Rowe spoke with the little girl's mother.
The father and stepmother of the 14-month-old little girl who was killed back in 2017 have now been charged in her death. I spoke with the little girl's mother, who's been searching for answers for nearly 2 years.
And thank you guys for clicking that thumbs up. Again, if you guys just got here, don't forget, make sure you click that thumbs up. We're at 323 right now. Let's see if we can get to 600. That would be an amazing goal. Try to support stories like this so we can kind of have these conversations and keep going. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. We're just getting started, okay? Thank you.
22nd, 2017. The day is still fresh in Jurayah Smith's mind. The day she lost her little girl.
That's all I could do was fall to the floor and cry, because I'm like, my daughter is dead. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think.
Jurayah was just 14 months old when she was found dead in a crib at her father's house.
And she was on her back, and her eyes were closed, and her mouth was closed. Her lips were kind of like a greenish color. You could tell she had been there for a long time, and she was cold.
Autopsy results showed Jurayah died from multiple blunt force trauma to the head. The little girl's father, Morris Beverly, and his wife, Takia, are both charged with capital murder.
That's step one, but it's a process. I feel like we got to go to court, we got to go this, we got to do that. There's a lot to happen between now and then.
Although it's been a long road to get here, Jurayah has one thing keeping her focused.
My daughter. She asks about her sister every day, and I tell her she's in heaven, but she still asks, Mama, where's Jurayah? Mom, I want Jurayah. So that's what's fueling me, too. We miss her. We both miss her. Everybody misses her.
And I definitely feel so sorry for that woman's other baby. And I'm going to tell y'all, and one of the things, I don't know if y'all thought about it this way, but the way we're bringing children into this world and having so many children outside of marriage and having to have these step families and step children and stuff, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for us to have, like, this woman has one kid with one guy and then another kid with another guy, or this guy having kids all over the damn place. It's not a healthy thing. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's a reason why I'm saying that. And I hope the mother doesn't get upset with why I said that. I'm going to actually tell you guys what my theory is on why this happened here right after these videos.
And first this half hour, a stepmother is found guilty in the murder of a 14-month-old girl. A Claiborne County jury found Takia Beverly, seen here on the left, guilty of capital murder. Beverly's the stepmother of 14-month-old Jurayah Smith, who was found dead October of 2017. Evidence at the trial shows Jurayah died from, quote, blunt force trauma to her head. Now, Smith's father, Morris Beverly, is also charged with capital murder. His trial will start on Monday.
Now, I want to show you guys a couple of videos real quick. And I'm going to be very fair, so I hope the family can at least appreciate this part about me, is I can understand when some things might seem like they're not what they really are. Maybe this woman really was innocent. Maybe this dad was really innocent. I will show you guys two videos. These fall under fair use, but I'm going to show y'all two videos. These are really short videos of the dad, the baby, and the mom interacting with each other. And I thought these were really good videos, but to kind of show her character. But again, I want y'all to remember that anybody can snap at any point in time. But let me show y'all these videos. So these are going to be just a couple of interactions, and just tell me what you guys truly think. Do these videos sway your opinion? Do they make you think different? Let's take a look. Again, this is the dad, the little baby, and the stepmom.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah. Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
Let's watch this one again. And I'm going to see, my mind works in a very weird way. This looks like a very nice, sweet, innocent video, and I think it is. But I see a lot more than most people do. Let me see if some of y'all see something different than what I see.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
Beautiful video. It looked like a beautiful family, right? Let me show the next video, and then I'll give y'all my thoughts. Let me show y'all this again. Nobody said it yet. Y'all are giving some interesting answers. But yeah, this is why I think I'm just a little bit different. Let me go back to this video. I'm surprised some of y'all didn't catch this. No, everything that y'all are saying, I think it's very innocent. I think it's funny. I think they're having a family moment. All that is normal. But let me show y'all what I see. This is the mind of DJ Just J. Are y'all ready for this? Here we go. Watch this again. It's actually something very rudimentary. That's the biological dad. That's the stepmom. The baby that passed away is right there crawling over. And apparently they already had the little baby. It's a very sweet video.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey? Delete. Turn it off.
I'm going to play it one more time. Y'all still haven't got it yet.
Baby? Where's baby?
I guess.
Yeah.
I
Aubrey? Say Aubrey?
All right. Okay. I'll kill the suspense. No pun intended. Here we go. Did y'all not notice how they have a brand new baby and a 14-month-old baby? She could have even been 10 months, 9 months old. Y'all didn't pay no attention to that? 2 babies. Let's talk about motive. No, y'all got it wrong. Y'all got it wrong. I'm going to just tell you. Here's the motive. That little girl is extremely young. So I want y'all to think, if it takes 9 months to make a baby, 14, 13, let me see. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Then, maybe a month prior. So that means that little girl was 4 months old. I want y'all to keep in mind that they are married. The gestation period of a woman's body is about 14 days from the time that you sleep with her. So tack on another month potentially. So if they're, and I want y'all to think about this. They said that they're married. Hashtag not my words. So if they're married, then that means they would at least had to been together a little while before they got married, which means that he cheated on his wife. Ooh. Come on, y'all didn't think about that? Nobody figured that out? Huh. Somebody said I should be a detective. Thank you. I just take that as a compliment. The girl represents the other woman. Thank you. Let me take a bow. Wow. Tell me I didn't blow some of y'all socks off just by watching that video. Huh? What's the best way to get back in her head to his baby mom who he cheated on her with? To hurt her baby. And here's what I can tell y'all in my opinion. I don't believe that woman intended to hurt and kill the baby. I just believe she intended to rough her up a little bit. And it went horribly wrong. Here's my scenario as I give y'all my closing thoughts about this story. So I want y'all to think about this logically. There could have potentially been an argument with the dad and the stepmom. Why? Over this situation that he caused. His reckless dick, his reckless penis habits. He had to have him some wet vagina. Huh? Either with his wife or girlfriend, whatever she was at the time. Maybe they were just dating, but they eventually got married. So how long have they been married if this baby is only 14 months old? Huh? But you know what? It's very easy to look up somebody's marriage records, is it not? So we can easily find out how long they've been married, when did they get married, and then just take your guesses as to how long they were probably dating. I say 1 year marriage, 1 year dating. 2 years, 24 months. That baby is 14 months old. Am I on point? Did I show you guys something that from this video that y'all didn't catch at first? Because the first thing I thought, here's how I caught it. I said, damn, that's a baby crawling over to another baby, and that man didn't have that baby with that woman. But he got a brand new baby laying on his chest, but yet the baby mom of that baby, like, huh? That's too close. Thank you. You said I'm most definitely on point. Thank you. I appreciate that. They could have gotten into an argument, but I want y'all to think about this. They probably had a lot to argue about. Let me throw a couple of scenarios out there for you if y'all don't mind. Let me move this down so y'all can see the live chat. I'm going to throw a couple of scenarios. What are some scenarios that people could argue over if they're married and a man has a baby outside of his wife? Y'all ready for this? STDs are a possibility because the mom of that kid isn't with this man exclusively. So there's a possibility that whoever she was sleeping with could have passed something to this man, and this man would have passed it to that woman. STDs and cheating are a very real possibility. Number 2, you had a child. Just seeing that other child there would make this woman feel some kind of way. It will let her know that her man is not exclusive. He's community penis. That cannot feel good knowing that this man put a ring on your finger, but you got a remnant of another woman that he was with outside of you. Third thing, child support. Thank you. Child support. And let me explain to y'all the way that child support works. If this man is worth any level of salt, he has a job. He has some type of verifiable income, some type of viable way that he's able to make a living. So if he works, which I believe he was working, if he's any type of a man, he's creating some type of income to take care of his kids, then that means child support is coming out of his check. Let me explain to y'all the way that this works. When you get married and if you're on child support, not only will they come after the biological father, but whomever you marry, they can come after you legally because they see you as a single entity. So that means just as easily as they can come after his check, they can come after the stepmom's check because they're married. How many of y'all knew that? Is that not something to be pissed off about? Knowing that your paychecks is about to come short because of his bad choices? Huh? How many of y'all thought about this? Last thing, when I talk about emotional, just like I call her brother emotional, how about the fact that if a woman uses her emotional side, maybe this woman just got a bit emotional and that she just had a baby. And I want y'all to think about this. If y'all want to always use postpartum depression as an excuse, well, she just had a brand new baby. Instead of her killing her own baby, she killed someone else's baby due to her rise in emotions. And like I said, postpartum depression is no excuse for murder. Your mental condition is no excuse for murder. So do I believe that they got it right in this case? Yes, I do, for the things that I just presented to you guys. Tell me what y'all think about that in the chat, because I know that's a whole lot to absorb, but guess what? We got a couple more things to talk about. Let me go ahead and take this off my screen. Let me go ahead and bring this video down. I'm going to let these pictures roll just a little bit. And y'all asked if they have a GoFundMe. Yes, they do. Let me show you guys a couple of screenshots. So I'm going to be very fair to both sides. So here we go. The family is coming out, and we'll talk about the GoFundMe here in just a moment. The family put this image out along with the text. And the text is trying to show all the names of the people who this baby was in the possession of during the time of this very heinous incident. They put out all of these names. Matter of fact, yes, I did get that right. That's Knight Rider. I'm glad I got that right. I've seen her email address long enough. I knew that was Knight Rider. So, yeah. So, yeah, keep Knight Rider. Yeah, and it's spelled K-N-I-G-H-T, Knight Rider. And then write like W-R-I-T-E, like write, Knight Rider. Yeah, keep our sister in your prayers. But this is what they put out there. They said, these are all the people who Jurayah was with that last 48 hours of her life. And it says, hashtag, I stand with Kia. But I would feel a little bit better if it had hashtag justice for Jurayah. How about that? That side of the family didn't seem like they gave a crap at all. They just want their sister out. And I'm just like, but what about this baby? She couldn't speak for herself. She couldn't defend herself against whomever actually beat her up. But I think that mom and boyfriend had a whole lot to be fighting over. Even to the point of this. I want y'all to look at this. When we're talking about supporting the children, and y'all ask me, why do I go so hard on these GoFundMe campaigns? They opened up a GoFundMe account for the stepmother who was arrested for the murder. Y'all hear me? They opened up a GoFundMe account of $15,000. So I want y'all to think about this for a moment, because I know we're going a little long before we even get to our second story. $15,000 for somebody who was convicted of capital murder. She's more than likely never going to get off of that sentence. Period. But they open up a GoFundMe in her name. What is $15,000 supposed to do for her? It's not going to do a damn thing for her, except maybe give her some commissary or some shit like that. But that money is going to go right into the pockets of the family who opened up that GoFundMe account. Maybe some lawyer fees, but that's about all I can think of. I hate to be that callous about it, but where was this GoFundMe before she went to jail? Before she got convicted? As y'all can see, the donors over there, those 177 dummies, those 177 donors have been donating within days. So that means they just opened this GoFundMe. But they didn't have that GoFundMe open for her legal fees or anything else. So beforehand, so what's the purpose of the GoFundMe? The GoFundMe is not to bury that baby. Clearly. Let's talk about another screenshot. Let's take a look at something else, because I thought this was very poignant. And I'm not sure who Alexandra King is, but let me read y'all this message. In the court documents, y'all can look them up. They're a little bit confusing to read, but she broke it down pretty good. The document clearly stated that there is no evidence of the healing process, and there is evidence of perimortal acute scalp contusions. Damn, that's hard to pronounce. Perimortal signifies that the injuries occurred right around or at the time of death and did not have a chance to start a healing process, which means this baby died immediately. The other healing injuries he referred to were non-significant in this case, since the acute injuries are what caused her death. I think some of you are reading the documents but don't have an understanding of what they actually mean. This does not support her innocence. It proves the baby died almost instantly after being hit. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have a lot on my heart right now. And I thought about that and I said, I look at this baby's face and I'm like, why does she deserve that? That baby didn't deserve that. And I can't even, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, I can't even get mad at the biological mother. And I hope she's listening. I hope she's not mad at me. But to the biological mom, in situations like this where somebody like me, I always advocate and I say, if you make a baby with a man, then allow that man to be a father. Like, we shouldn't have to go through the courts and all of that stuff. Y'all should be able to work that thing out together as adults. And it seems to me like the mom, not her, not that stepmom, but the biological mom of this baby, it seemed to me like she tried to do the right thing and let him spend time with his kid, because the baby was 14 months old. I could be wrong about that, but to me, it seems like she was trying to do what was right. He's the dad. However, the baby came into fruition, the baby came into fruition. And if he's the father, then he had every responsibility to be a father to that baby. And if that man cheated on his wife to create that baby, then it was up to both of them to figure that out together, not to get mad about it, because the baby didn't do anything to get here. Those children can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves against the tyranny of anybody. If you chose to be okay with that man bringing that child over to the house, then you should have been okay with trying to help that mother raise that baby, regardless of whatever catty bullcrap that y'all were going through. It's time to cut y'all feelings out of it at that point. It's time for y'all to be parents and to be joint parents, regardless of who's being petty. I think they got into an argument. She snapped and hurt that and murdered that baby. We're going to find out really what happened when the dad is under the fire of the courts. And when they put that fire on his ass, I think he's going to speak. He's going to have to say something. Or they're going to sentence him to life in prison, if not the death penalty. So his life is on the line. And I think we're going to find out a lot more, because we didn't seem to find out so much with the stepmom, but I think we're going to find out about a lot about the dad. And I'm going to tell him the only way he can save his soul and to save himself in court and in prison is you better tell the damn truth. You lie or you leave it for us to figure out, they're going to do what they did to her and give you life without parole in prison. I think it was just, I think I gave you guys every reason why I believe that they got this right. And I hope that her brother and them shut that bull crap down, because I proved to y'all why I believe that they murdered them. Not if, but why. So what I want to say, look, man, those babies, that breaks my heart, man. It makes my chest hurt looking at that picture. I'm going to bring up my favorite picture. Sorry. Y'all bear with me a moment. This is my favorite picture. Beautiful little girls. Y'all can tell girls are my heart because I created my daughter. Shout out to my daughter if she's out there listening. I love my baby. I always knew that when I had a kid, I was going to have a daughter. She's my heart. Shout out to my daughter. I love little girls. I just have an affinity for little girls. I want to see them protected. I want to see them learn. I want to see them just be smart. I want to see them eat. I just want to see them grow and just be beautiful little girls. To grow up to be young women, grow into adulthood, and help a man and help a husband create a legacy. I see them as little princesses that someday will be queens when they get their crown from their king, their husband. The only way that you can be a queen is when you have a king, because a king can be a king even if he ain't got a queen, but a queen can't be a queen without a king. That's the way it should work. We should work in tandem together, mother and father, husband and wife, as a community, and we have to come together to stop this stuff. What are those babies supposed to do? All they had was each other. I feel so sorry for that baby who's now going to be raised with no parents. And I feel bad for the mom's other daughter who's going to have to grow up without her sister. Really breaks my heart, man. Jurayah Smith, 14 months old, young princess, R.I.P. Thank you guys for listening to this story. We tend to talk very honest here at the AFC podcast, where we advocate for children first. We encourage more people to listen to us with an open mind and an open heart. And continue to subscribe to our channel, hit that thumbs up, share these stories, and let more people know what we're trying to accomplish. And we're trying to accomplish not only justice for these babies, but we're trying to advocate for children and make sure that they have a healthy future, okay? Thank you.